What is going on, everybody? Zero4 here, and welcome back to Expanded Pokemon Sets. Today, we're looking at one of the most revolutionary sets because after this set, it's like the game changed completely, and it's still going in the direction that it changed with this set. The direction of big, basic Pokemon, and Stage 2 Pokemon, Stage 1 Pokemon, regular ass Pokemon, to say. They were secondary. They were never the priority again. So the set I'm talking about is the fourth black and white set, and it is, of course, the next Destinies set. This is the set that brought back Pokemon EXs. Pokemon EXs were, of course, originally in the third generation era of Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald, third gen. And the EX Pokemon over there, they were basic, they were stage 1s, they were stage 2. Most of the best ones were honestly stage 1 and stage 2, but there were some good basic EX Pokemon too. In this set with black and white that brought them back, they were only basic Pokemon, all of them. Even if they featured like an evolved Pokemon in the card, they were always basic. Of course, with X and Y later, they made the Mega Form, Mega Evolution Pokemon too, but it would be a long time since then, till then. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to start with the X's, because that's the highlight of this set. I guess maybe a little bit of story. It's pretty obvious. I think most people are familiar with what happened. When these Pokemon got released, almost everything else became irrelevant. Like a lot of the attacking Pokemon in the Heart Gold Soul Silver sets that were still around, they were non-existent. Maybe some support Pokemon like Vileplume and other cards, they still saw play, but it just seems like the Stage 1 and Stage 2 Pokemon got supporting roles. This set, it does have a few strong EX Pokemon for the time, but they were all, leagues below what Mewtwo EX was in this set. My god, this is definitely the strongest and best card from this set, revolutionary card, even though it's pretty simple. And, it turned games basically into, Mewtwo Wars. It was the Mewtwo Wars era, what it was, because it was weak to itself, weak to Psychic. Let's look at it actually. Until, Darkrai came out, and then I guess it was the Darkrai Dex, Darkrai Mewtwo Dex. Okay, so Mewtwo EX, 170 HP, basic Pokemon, 2 retreat. 170 is almost considered like a joke today for basic Pokemon like basic GXs and whatever the hell the V Pokemon. I already know a lot of them start with 200 and 210 HP, 220 HP, just the basic. They're basically completely outclass a card like this, but back in, I think 2011, I think it was still 2011. I could be wrong, but I think this might have been the last set of 2011. Or maybe it was Dark Explorers. Nevertheless, this card was busted. And the reason it was busted was because of the X-Ball attack. Just do colorless. What does that mean? You can slap a DC, and this guy's ready to go. Does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon. So, just without factoring your opponent, this Pokemon was going to do 40 damage for 2, and if you put more energies on Mewtwo, then you do even more damage. Like if you put like a second DC, if you use any of the various energy acceleration methods available, Emboar, what else there was, like Electric, of course you could put lightning energies on this guy too. Damn, it was crazy. And if your opponent had a bunch of energies on them as well, which most Pokemon would, of course, even if they just had a measly 2, what you were going to do, 80 for 2, broken. Just a basic Pokemon, EX, large HP, very, very busted Pokemon. Side Drive, this was an okay attack too for back then, 120 for 3, but it's your conventional attack if you want to make a guaranteed amount, a specific amount, and you just discard an energy. I think in the same set, there's the Gardevoir too, that doubles the psychic energy. We're going to look at that too, it's a great card. So I guess you could use that with Mewtwo too. But this was the most broken card, even during like the X and Y era, for as long as this card was around, because it was reprinted in Legendary Treasures 2 and in a tin. It made for a great tech in various decks that just wanted to slap a good psychic attacker that worked with any energy, worked with DCs. Uh, to my eyes, this Pokemon actually just showed its best colors during that time, like becoming an excellent tech Pokemon. Many decks could just splash in, hitting stuff for psychic weakness, flexible attacker, EX Pokemon. You couldn't go wrong with it. Awesome full art as well. Looks pretty awesome, Mewtwo. So best card, no doubt, it's this one. Now actually we already have the shiny secret rares. I think they started with this set in black and white. You've got Emboar here. This is the Inferno Fandango 1. Damn, it's not going to show us. But it's the blue shiny Emboar. Then you got Chandelure. Okay, it shows us. This is the Cursed Shadow 1 that just came out in Noble Victories. Looks pretty fly. You got Zoroark with Foul Play, copying opponent's Pokemon attacks. This got really busted with GX Pokemon, of course, GX attacks. And Hydreigon from Noble Victories 2. I think these cards, they're shiny Pokemon, difficult to get. I think the ratios is like 1 per 2 or 3 boxes, so obviously they're pricey. And we've got a bunch of other EX Pokemon here. I guess the second best one, I would say Zekrom EX here. Simply because, as a Lightning EX Pokemon, it was compatible with Electric. And you could use this dude, do 150. Discard 2 energies. Obviously, it worked wonders with Electric. Get the energies back. 150 for 4. It didn't give you these exact one-hit knockouts just yet. We had Rayquaza after 2 sets that did that. But it was still a good Pokemon during that time. You gotta remember, this was the only batch of EX Pokemon, so, if you couldn't just play Mewtwo, you were playing Electric, you were going to play this guy too, in all probability. And then Glinting Claw, 50 for 3, and if heads 80, that's not great. It's kind of boring, but it is what it is. This Pokemon has 180 HP, an extra retreat cost, weakness to fighting, which I guess could have been problematic. The Terrakion could still kill you, and that still remained a good card from Noble Victories. Then we got the one that I really like. It looks awesome, but unfortunately sucks ass, and it sucked ass even more afterwards. This Kyurem EX. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The regular Kyurem artwork, regular Kyurem Pokemon, I think is actually a good design. Of course, it's not on the level of something like Ho-Ho, Kyogre, Groudon, those kinds of Pokemon. But it's a good little legendary Pokemon. A lot of people say it's ass. But in my opinion, like the black Kyurem and white Kyurem, those are worse than this. So this dude has 180 HP, water Pokemon, same triple retreat. Can do Frozen Wings, 60 for 3 in your discard a special energy. This wasn't that bad. I guess it was compatible with DC. Slap a water energy and you can do this. Discard your opponent's opposing DCs. But, it would have been better if it did like 80 for 3 at least. And then Hail Blizzard, 124 4, and you can't use this attack next turn. Right. It started raining too, so hopefully this doesn't get in the way too much of the sound. Alright. We got Reshiram EX next. This one also looks pretty fly. Glinting Claw, the same attack, pretty boring, just 80 if you get heads. And Brave Fire. Reshiram just does 150 straight up. And if you get tails on the coin flip, you do 50 to yourself. That's not great. Zekrom was better. But I guess you can still use this with Emboar if you wanted to. Yeah. Then we got Shaymin, another card that I kind of like. Got reprinted in Legendary Treasures 2. Damn, it's not going to show us. That's sad. But what this Pokemon could do was use Revenge Blast. For every prize card your opponent took, you could do 30 extra. So if they had just one prize left, I think you can do 180 for 2, which was very significant. Get one-hit knockouts on these EX Pokemon. Synthesis, search your deck for a grass energy attached to one of your Pokemon. Okay, I guess. What held this Pokemon back, it was the low HP. It was one of those EX Pokemon that only had 110 HP, so that sucked. And then the only one that's left is Regigigas. I like the regular one more than the full art, to be honest, but this Pokemon, it's just, it also kind of sucked quickly. I mean, Raging Hammer, I guess, can't be decent. You do 50 for 4, and then 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Obviously, there wasn't many things that would be able to get a one-hit knockout on Pokemon like these back then. You could just easily use them as tanks, to be honest, and just wall with these guys for a few turns, depending on what your opponent was using. If they have like, I don't know, if this dude has 60 damage, you do like 110 for 4, it's still not great. Obviously, if you have more damage, you can do more damage. Like if you got 100, you can do 150. No strings attached. But it's not so great. There's a little bit of synergy with Giga Power. You do 60 for 3, and then you can do 20 more damage and do 20 to yourself. So 80 for 3, and then you build up your Raging Hammer, but not great once again. I suppose you could use the Asperia City Gym, boost this guy's HP. I think that comes in this set, or maybe Boundaries Crossed. I don't remember. I guess we'll find out as we go. And colorless Pokemon, I guess you could use DCE. You can use any other energy type. Flexible. But it could have been a little bit better. I mean, Tauros GX, when he came out in Sun and Moon, he definitely was a hell of a lot better than this card for the time. Like, not even comparing the both of them. So, it's a bit disappointing. A big-ass retreat, too. Weakness to fighting. And these are the EX Pokemon, the first batch. From here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were the biggest cards. Like, even the ones that sucked compared to the others, they would still have such a major advantage against other decks. Like, if you use this Regigigas against, I don't know, like, superior deck or something, you would still have the advantage. So let's look at a few of the other stuff. Like, let's see what we got here. The trainers, you got Silan. It's almost kind of sad when I look at this dude. A supporter that gets you 3 basic energies. When Professor Letter came out, this card was so useless. But back then, I guess there wasn't any card that had this sort of effect. It's basically like you draw 3 cards, but it's just energies for sure. Wasn't so great. I mean, I don't see why you would use this even in energy acceleration decks. Oh well. And you got experience share. This was definitely a good card. Attach it to a specific Pokemon, and if your active Pokemon gets knocked out, you can get an energy, attach it to the Pokemon on the bench with experience share. So this was an easy way to build up your energies like that, conserve energies and build it up on your Pokemon. Pretty good. Of course, when stuff like the Tool Scrapper came out, it became weaker, but it was a good card. Heavy Ball, now this is a good card. I use it even to this day. Get a Pokemon that has retreat 3 or more, put it into your hand. Instant Searcher, costless. Great to get big ass Pokemon, all types, basics, evolved forms, everything. Excellent card. For sure. And Level Ball, another excellent card. Get Pokemon with 90 HP or less. So this can be basics, stage 1s. I mean, probably weren't many stage 2s with 90 HP, but you get the idea. Another excellent card, for as long as it was around. And then we got Pokemon Center. This one is, you can heal 20 damage each turn from one of your bench Pokemon. Your opponent could do this too. I guess it worked well with some of the big EX Pokemon here. And Skyro Bridge. This was the better stadium here. For a good while, I used to use this in Ray Eels all the time. Retreat cost of each basic Pokemon is 1 less. Pretty handy. If you have 1 retreat, it's like you have free retreat with those Pokemon. So it's pretty good. The famous Skyro Bridge from the Black and White games. Good stuff. Good stuff. And then we have double colorless energy reprinted here. It ensured this card would stay for a good while. And then Prism Energy. This one provides colorless energy, and if this Pokemon is attached to a basic Pokemon, provides every type of energy. So seeing this card pisses me off so much because it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, do basic Pokemon need extra help? Do these giant EX Pokemon need extra help? Damn. Of course, it was the Eviolite in the previous set we looked at. You know, it's always so annoying when they make it so obvious. Like, yeah, we're supporting these basic Pokemon. We're supporting these tag team GXs. Look at all the support they can only use. It's very annoying. You know, the stuff that hurts them is a lot less. So, yeah, you know, a lot of other Pokemon Stage 2s would have appreciated this card, but no. It's gonna be a Rainbow Energy for basic Pokemon only. That sucks. Okay, let's look at some other stuff, if I can remember, but I know there are a few other cards in here. Yeah, I already spotted one, but let's take our time. This Among Us is the one, yeah, it's the one with Sport Prize. Nice name. When you evolve into this Pokemon, you can confuse and poison your opponent's active Pokemon. Excuse me. I'm kind of sick to be honest, but yeah. So it's kind of like the Salazzle that I use in my Salazzle Ninetales deck. For a while, you know, back then you would use this with the Ninetales that came out in the Dragons Exalted. You would use this dude, and it was a nice combo. Confusion and poison, definitely not a bad ability, and you could use like Devolution Spray and use this tactic over and over. Next up, what do we got? We got the legendary birds. They looked nice, but they weren't so great. I mean, look at this dude doing 50 for 3 and 94. Just 4 discard of our energy. I mean, come on. You know, Reshiram just completely outclasses this Moltres from Black and White. Okay, let's keep going. There's another Chandelure here. This one with Flame Burst and Inferno. Discard all energy attached to this Pokemon if any Pokemon is not burned. And, you know, 30 and then 30 to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So 90 total for 1. Not bad, I guess. You got this Reshiram reprinted. I mean, to add insult to injury, they reprinted this in the same set that this Moltres comes out. What the hell? Got a few Lapras, this cool looking Articuno. Ice Beam and Ice Wing, same sort of mediocre attacks. And you've got this Vanillux. I think this is the one that, let's see, Slippery Souls. You may switch your active Pokemon or your bench Pokemon. Okay, and then Crush and Ice. Okay, this isn't the one that does the instant paralysis, but, you know, interesting ability. Both of you got a switch. Then we got, where are you? Okay, there's the Zapdos too. This one at least does like a 50 snipe. And the Hurricane Thunder. Like at least this one you've got potential to do like over 100 damage for 4. And if you just do 100 for 4, that's okay, I guess. You can use Victini too. Not bad. We got Luxray. I don't remember what you do, but Flash Impact. Yeah, 60 and 20 to one of your Pokemon. Yeah, it's basically a carbon copy of the Luxray G-Level X. Too bad is a million times worse. And, okay, there's the Zipstrika. This one is the one that has Disconnect. So before the Seismitoad EX came out, you could use this Pokemon if you wanted item lock through the form of an attack. You do 40 for 2, so it's actually stronger than Seismitoad, but you need a Lightning Energy. This one is a Stage 1. But your opponent wouldn't be able to use any item cards. So, you know, obviously, that 90 HP was going to screw this Pokemon over quickly. But, you know, you've got this good attack. You've got Free Retreat too. You know, it could be an interesting deck. Like, interestingly enough, Jason Klaczynski does have, you know, articles featuring decks from the Black and White era. You know, this deck is featured over there as one of the lesser decks. And you can find a lot of the best decks over there if you go to his WordPress page. There's the Zekrom 2, sort of alternate artwork from Black and White. And where are you? There's the Gardevoir. Like, this might be my favorite card from this set. I like these kinds of abilities. Psychic Mirage. Each basic Psychic energy attached to your Pokemon provides 2 instead of 1. So good stuff. And Mind Shock 60 for 4, but it's like 60 for 2 with this Pokemon's effect. Not affected by weakness or resistance. That kind of sucks. You could use this with other Psychic Pokemon and just try and, use this as the Venusaur from Shiny Legends, but of course, stage 2s, I mean, things like Emboar, Electric, like even for Alligator, that was still around. Maybe you could say they were still better. Yeah. But it was very nice. I like it. We got Misharna. Is this the one with Forewarn? Yeah, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Yeah, choose one of them, put it in your hand, put the other one at the top of your deck. So this is like the Pidgeotto, you could say, of today. Only you put the card on top of your deck. Interesting draw card, and I think the Munna too. Not this one, but there was another one that had a good ability. Yeah, the Zender Manitan. I think this is the only one they did with this dude like this. Synchro Draw. So it's like a copycat draw attack. And Dark Maxitan. For each energy attached to this Pokemon, yeah, 50 damage, the number of heads. Victini card, obviously. Try and get lots of heads. Get big knockouts. And what else? This Lucario is the one with the retaliation. It's the active Pokemon and it's damaged. Put 2 damage counters. The attacking Pokemon in Aura Sphere. 50 and 20 on a bench Pokemon. Okay. This Hippowdon. I don't think this does anything. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember the artwork, but I don't think it does anything. And this Weavile, what do you do? Dark Penalty. Okay, your opponent needs a tool for you to do 90 for 1. Okay, there you are. So this Shiftry, ban card time. So this Pokemon, like to my knowledge at least, it did absolutely nothing when it came out, or it didn't do much. And then I think when more of the, Acerola-esque cards came out, this became like an FTK deck. You would try and get a bunch of these out, and then make your opponent put your opponent's Pokemon into the hand, and then they lose. There's no limitation, so even if they have just one Pokemon, they could do this. This was the error for Pokemon TCG. I talked about this in my Shiftry TCG overview. Yeah, good times, long time ago. But yeah, this was a Shifty card that actually got banned. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve, you flip a coin. If heads, choose one of your opponent's Pokemon. Shuffles it back in the deck. That's it. And when the Forest of Giant Plants came out, obviously you could use this with the Seedots and Nuzleaf that are grass, of course. And it was kind of an FTK, another sort of cheap troll deck. And it did work. That's why they had to ban this card for a while. I think now it's not banned. Oh well. And then, what else? We got this Bronzong with Heal Block. Damage can't be healed by any Pokemon. I guess that could have been interesting to block Max Potion. And the Pokemon Center here. And I think that's it. We covered everything. I don't think I forgot anything. Small set, 100 cards, but obviously, besides Mewtwo, it had a lot of good stuff. Lots of good trainers. It seems the Asperia City Gym isn't here, so it must be in boundaries crossed. For sure. There's this Raichu. Doesn't look like you do anything either. Beartick. Nothing much. Jellicent. This Pokemon is damaged, so you do the same damage during your next turn to your opposing Pokemon. Okay. Look at this Vanillite. How cute with the little maid chick there. Good stuff. Vanilluxe is actually one of my favorite black and white Pokemon. And if you think it's just a simple ice cream Pokemon, then too bad for you. Okay. I don't think I forgot anything else, so I think we should just wrap this set review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I've said, after this set, they just went forward with this whole basic Pokemon concept, giant basic Pokemon, and everything else is just filler for the most part. And from the X and Y era to Sun and Moon to where we're going next with Sword and Shield, it's the same concept. Big ass giant Pokemon, a large HP, and the the continuation is just add more large HP. That's it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this set review. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends. I've been SaberWolf94, and thank you guys for watching. We'll say